Thank you. That's about my presentation, Jacqueline.
Wow. Sanjay, thank you so much for your time. Oh my gosh, so much information, especially the tools. The tools were
Yes.
tremendous. And I like how you talked about your why, because what we've seen
Yes.
since yesterday with our presentations, everyone talked about their why they were doing what they're doing, what was their purpose, what was their reason for going into entrepreneurship, what caused them to want to become an entrepreneur, all the whys that go into starting a business, maintaining a business. It has to do with what's going to keep you going. Your why is what's going to keep you motivated and keep you going. So what I'd like to also share is the fact that you talked about goal setting and the importance of goal setting and taking big goals and making them into smaller, more manageable pieces. And really, the one that brings it home is to let entrepreneurs know that they can't do it all by themselves. And when they delegate, they are able to actually do more when they are able to delegate.
Correct.
So, can you share with us a little bit about how you work with multiple businesses? What does it look like when someone decides to work with you? What kinds of processes do you take them through?
Yeah. So what I do is I decide the goals first. Let's say we have to achieve more qualified leads. So I work with the clients on LinkedIn marketing. I help them find out proper qualified leads through LinkedIn and through email marketing. And then I directly call them and then try to follow up them again and again, let's say 2 to 3 times. And then finally I get the leads.
Awesome. So, how did you come to determine these big long range goals? Was it scary, or was that something that was just very easy for you to set?
Yeah, this was actually easy for me because I belong to the family where we decide long goals, we decide big goals. And my dad is a banker and my mom is a social worker and she has helped many. So we have seen that world. So if we are not doing big, so we cannot live a better life. So that's the main reason.
Very good, very good. And that's interesting. You always find points of connection. You always find points of connection because early in my career, my bachelor's degree is in psychology. So in my early career, I was a social worker as well. So that's now another point of connection. So that actually helps me to feel more connected to you because now we have that as a point of connection as well. And that's what LinkedIn is all about. When you read someone's professional profile, when you determine you want to connect with someone, you tell me if this is something you do as well, Sanjay. Don't just
Yes,
send a connection request by hitting that button of connect. That's not the way to do it
correct,
because that's cold and that's the
correct.
way everyone does it. Utilize the button that says customize the invitation and actually put in, as I showed you in my presentation previously, create a little dialogue as to what you two have in common, why you want to connect with them, and give a call to action to ask them to either connect with you or to answer a question, but something to engage with them. And that makes a point of connection to make them want to know, like, and trust you. So, Sanjay, what are some of the things that you say in your opening connection request message?
Yeah, so I would like to present something. I also have that some of the messages which I send to my
Great,
connections.
great,
I will
great.
just, So this is one of the example which I've recently used. And I have stopped my LinkedIn activities for the time being because I am working on my clients' LinkedIn activities. So this is one of the examples that happy to share that we are solving problems of all kinds of belts used in manufacturing industries and helping them achieve better operational efficiency and less purchase cost. Do let us know if you need any support from our side for solving your issues of timing belts. So this is for one of my clients. I am approaching these people for building my relationship in my that particular niche. So this is my content.
And what I
And
see there is some of the same content that I talked about in my presentation, where you have a call to action at the end, asking them a question or asking them to take some action or do something. But you've also, in the beginning, talked about why you're contacting them and the benefit to them. It's not about us. It's about them, what you can do for them. What is the benefit for them? It's not about us.
correct. So yeah, I will actually improvise this script. I am working on many more scripts. So I will definitely use new ones, and I will seek your help on uh, building more scripts.
Can you show us maybe another example of someone else that you sent a message to connect?
Yes, sure. So this is one of the script, another script. Hi, Neil. Thank you for adding me here on LinkedIn. It's pleasure to be in your network. Happy to share that we are helping Ultratech Cement, Ambuja, and ACC Cement in their regular belt requirements. Would you need any support on your regular requirements of V belts? So I am asking them if they need any help. So please advise and confirm. I am putting call to action as my phone number because in these kind of clients we have to uh, do them cold calling. So I am putting my phone number here so that they can call me, or once they reply, I will get their contact details.
Great, great. So would you talk about that a little bit more about cold calling? We know it's a numbers game. So
Yes.
how many do you typically reach out to, and how many do you get as responses? Because I want to manage the expectations of our audience that just because they put out 2 or 3 or 5 messages out to someone and they may not get 5 responses back or 2 responses back or 1 response back, that we want to make sure that they don't get discouraged, because it is a numbers game, and the more you reach out, it's a percentage of those that will actually respond back. So would you talk about that?
Yes. So in terms of cold calling, I do around 25 to 30 calls per day. And out of that, 10 to 12 give me positive response. And rest of them I do again, maybe after 48 or 72 hours. So I don't let them leave that point. I keep on following up maybe on next Wednesday or Thursday. So I definitely keep a check on that. And I would say to convert one client on phone call, it takes around 15 to 20 days in my niche. And I keep on following up with them regularly so that they don't forget about it and it is on top of their mind.
Would you repeat that again? That's tremendous, and that's very important.
Yeah.
Out of
So I yeah, out of 25 to 30, I get 10 to 12 positive responses on phone calls.
So that's a little bit less than half. That's actually a great percentage. Usually it's much less.
Yes.
So that's very good. What do you think makes the difference for you having such a high percentage versus what might be the average of, less than 10%?
So it depends on the niche. So my leads are always qualified. I never call them if they are not qualified. So I try to understand what their need is and what is their actual product, what they require, what the cost they are targeting. It is always about the cost and quality. So I first research about the product. I then understand the cost. Then I understand what is the desired quality they want. Then I call them that I have this solution. Would you buy it? Then 50% of the people say yes. this is the right time, I will buy from you. If it is not the right time, then definitely I call them again after a 1 month or 2 months time.
So how do you qualify your leads when you're doing research, when you're looking at different companies' profiles or individual people's profile? How do you qualify them?
So first of all, I understand the application of the product. Let's say I am selling a machinery or maybe an equipment to a cement or industrial company. So first of all, I study the application where the product is used. So I search on Google and LinkedIn, and then I find out the people from those companies. Let's say we have to find purchase managers or operations managers or maybe maintenance managers. Then I find their email IDs, then I send them emails so that they have some knowledge about my brand or my product. Then I get the contact numbers from LinkedIn or maybe Google. I get the numbers from their websites. Then I call them and remind them that I've sent you some emails. Have you gone through it? So if they say no, so I just send them immediately. And definitely after 24 hours, I follow up them again so that they have that point in their mind that Sanjay is following up, Sanjay is asking me something. So in that way, I'm able to get more business.
Wow, that's tremendous. Yet again, you just bringing so much great information. Follow up. That is the make or break to a business being successful, is the follow up, because most people do not follow up. Most people do not take the time to follow up, or they give up after the first or second attempt. So how do you keep going when maybe someone isn't responsive the first, second, or third or more time?
Yeah, so my strategy is to never give up. I never give up. I have converted business. Let's say I approached a business in 2019, a client in 2019. I waited till September 2020, and then I converted that client into a repeat business client. So I got orders of almost $100,000 in 1 month, and that was a big achievement because I kept on following up. I never gave up. So I did almost 25 follow-ups in 12 months. So that was a big point, and that was a very uh, inspiring for me also. I kept on going for it. I kept on going for it. So I cracked that deal.
Wow, never give up. Never give up. That is,
Yes,
I'm speechless because that made such a difference. $100,000 client by never giving up.
yes,
One
correct.
thing that I do and that I follow and I've heard that has inspired me is the fact that when you follow up and follow through, you're distinguishing yourself from your competitors, because your competitors are
Yes,
going to give up. Your competitors are going to move on to someone else. The competitor is always looking for the shiny object and they're going to move on. But when you follow up with the client or prospective client, they see that you are interested in them and you're providing value. You're not just calling saying, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? That's not how you follow up. You follow up with contributing to what's important to them, giving them information, giving them insight. And it's not always necessarily your information. It's maybe an article or a post from somewhere else that would be of interest to them, so that you show them that you're always thinking about them and their business, not your business, but their business. We have another speaker that's coming up later this week in the summit, Donovan Welsh, tremendous sales manager, sales executive, #1 market in the US as far as broadcasting is concerned, New York City. He's been a mogul in the sales industry in New York City, and he's going to have information on how to build a sales team and how to follow up. And these go hand in hand, sales and marketing, marketing and sales. You hear those two all the time. Sanjay, can we go through your LinkedIn profile from the top as far as your descriptive information, how you describe yourself and your business, so we can get an idea as to maybe some things our audience can follow?
yes. There's my profile. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the headline, I'm putting as in the top 1% active LinkedIn marketeers worldwide. I am pursuing MBA right now from UK and smart goal setting, LinkedIn and email expert, B2B lead generation. And as I started already, dream, believe, do, repeat. So I believe in doing and repeating things again and again. So purpose-driven leader and entrepreneur. I am helping brands and entrepreneurs generate qualified B2B leads with the help of LinkedIn and email marketing. This is my overall summary. And I have featured some of the posts. And this is one of my video which I created recently. And this is one of my first, this is my first article actually, looking for a job. So why not marketing? Then my overall experience,
I
I
see
am
a couple
working,
of things there that look familiar.
yes.
Sanjay has been very
Yeah, that's,
supportive of our posts for this particular event. So I want to thank you very much for your support of our posts, liking our posts. So
yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I have posted to almost 12 groups as well. So I posted in most of the groups, which I am already in. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Anything
So
else? Yeah.
yeah, how about this? If you were to meet with a new business owner who wanted to utilize LinkedIn to promote their business, themselves, their authority, their knowledge and experience, what one key piece of advice would you give them?
So I would give them one advice as build content regularly. It's all about content. So if we are posting, let's say, 2 articles a week, that is sufficient enough to gain attraction from our potential clients.
So, what type of content should they post? Is there any particular category or type or format that they should use?
Yeah, so I am working on many formats nowadays. I have actually built a social calendar, and I am included LinkedIn as well. I am building on LinkedIn calendar for scheduling and posting content. So I would say if we have to post, so most of the time it depends on the product and or service, and we can decide that let's say we are focusing on 4 P's of marketing: price, promotion, place, and product. So we can categorize that.
So, I noticed you said you did a video and you posted that on your profile.
Yes.
What trends have you seen regarding use of video versus written content?
On LinkedIn, videos are not yet that much famous or not working as of now, but written posts are getting much more views than videos. In my case, because I may be starter in terms of videos, I am very new to videos, and on written content, I'm getting good amount of views. That is around 2,000 to 3,000.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's say now, as opposed to a new entrepreneur who's just starting their profile from a business standpoint, maybe we're now talking about a person who has been in business for a period of time. Maybe they have a good number of LinkedIn connections. Maybe they have already hit that 500 plus connections, which is that mile marker that is very important to hit. But they don't really know those 500 people. They're not really engaging with them. How would you suggest for them to warm up those relationships and get reconnected with those relationships?
So first of all, I would suggest that build 2 or 3 different scripts for sending out messages. Send them a warm message that thanks for your connection on LinkedIn. We are happy to be part of a group or network, and we would like to have it. We would like to discuss with you on these points. So in that way, we can warm them up and get let's say email IDs of their accounts, and then directly reach out to them via email.
Great. So do you find that they are responsive once you contact them through their
Yes.
actual email address?
Yes. So once they are engaging on LinkedIn, we can take the email IDs and then approach in a very formal, or I would say on directly on the email ID. So that is much better. And most I am getting good 80 to 90% open rate on my emails.
Very
So I believe more into email marketing.
great, great. What's a typical day look like for you when you are working with your clients? And especially that you work with international clients and their time zone differences and so forth. What does a typical day look like for you?
So I am working from morning 10 or 11 a.m. till evening around 10:30 p.m. So
Okay, so
I take two to three breaks a day.
mhm.
I take around two breaks, and then I almost work for 9 to 10 hours.
Okay, so is that a consistent, I mean, other than the breaks, is that consistent work engaging directly with clients, or is that doing research, or is that creating posts, or a combination of all of that? What does that actually look like?
Yeah, it's a combination of all of those, and I mostly engage with clients on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Wednesdays and
So
Saturdays.
I
So you
have,
set that
yeah,
as your,
schedule the meetings.
you schedule your meetings. Great. So that's very similar to how I work, because when I work with a client, they're always on my mind. So I'm always looking for inspiration. I'm always looking for uh, resources that as I go through my day, as I go around, even though, we're not going out, at least I'm not going out as much these days, but as I see things on TV or hear something uh, through conversations, or I see something on, excuse me, on my phone or on my feed on LinkedIn. If I see something that integrates well with something that my customer needs, I'm going to utilize that and make note of it, or utilize it in some way, no matter what time of the day it is, because I'm always working. Now, someone may say, well, you're always working, but for me, that's what I love. And if you are open to inspiration, that inspiration can come at any time. So all I do, my phone is my best friend. And so I make a note of whatever I come across, put it into my phone so that whenever I am in my full work mode, I can go back to that note, I can pull it out and utilize it as need be. But inspiration is all around you, and you have to be willing to be able to be open to that inspiration and education whenever it may come. And even at the middle of the night, if I wake up with an idea, or I come across an idea in my mind or in my dream, what I've learned in order to continue to stay fairly much asleep, my phone, of course, is nearby. Instead of waking up and actually typing it in and having the light wake me up and maybe not be able to go back to sleep, what I've learned to do is utilize my Siri person to be able to help me. And I will just say, Siri, make a, she won't hear this, but
Make a note. Oh, okay.
Siri, make a note for whatever the thing is, because oftentimes by the time I wake up hours later, I won't remember it. So I will tell Siri, make a note for me verbally, and she will make that note, and then I can go back to it. So good ideas can come in the middle of the night. Good ideas can come at any point in
Yes.
time. Utilize the technology. We had one of our speakers yesterday talking about different tools and technology. Utilize technology to your advantage. Use what you have in your hand to be able
Yes.
to make your work more productive, and to be able to, be all that you can be, and be all that you can be for your clients. Because when you show that you're dedicated to their success, they will hire you and rehire you over and over and over again. So Sanjay, we have just a few minutes left. I want to open up for any
Yes.
questions from the audience, but also any last words from you, any advice, any tips, any strategies that you have for our audience.
Yeah, so I would like to say that go for it. Go for the big dream which you are building in your mind or you have in your heart that you are not able to work on. Go for it and just start it and don't give up, never give up. You will achieve whatever you write it. So dream big and you can achieve the goals. That's about it.
Dream big. Dream big is the word of the day from Sanjay, all the way from Mumbai, India. This is an international event. If you haven't figured that out already, we have guests, we have speakers, we have panelists from all across the globe, and it's only going to grow even more and more. Stay tuned, because in our segment, the closing segment for today, where I will be giving the closing statement, I will show you a map of where all of our speakers, all of our presenters, all of our sponsors, as well as all of our ambassadors, where actually Sanjay is pulling double duty. He is not only an
Yes.
ambassador, but he's also a speaker, presenter. I'm going to show you on a map where they're all located so that you can see the breadth of the
Yes.
reach we have for this first Build Your Consulting Business Now Summit, first of many to come. Every quarter, we're going to take you to new levels. As you apply this information to your business, you'll grow, you'll stretch, and you'll be ready for more. By the next quarter, by the next time we have the next summit, you'll be able to add more to what you've already done and continue to grow and scale and network and meet all the people who will support you along the way to launch and soar your consulting business now. Sanjay, thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Very, very informative. We've seen in the chat already that comments are coming in about this being good information, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. If you would like more information from Sanjay, I'm going to put this into the chat. Contact me at jgrant@bycbnsummit.com and put in the subject line Sanjay,
Yes.
and you'll be able to get in touch with him, content from him, his offers, all available if you contact me and put Sanjay in the subject line. So contact him. He has some good nuggets that he didn't get to share because we've run out of time. But again, LinkedIn is where decisions are made. Your clients are likely on Facebook and so forth, but if they even find you on Facebook, if they find you on Instagram, any of the other social media platforms, if they are interested in working with you, I guarantee you, before they contact you, what are they going to do, Sanjay? They're going to look you up on LinkedIn. They're going to look you up
Yes.
on LinkedIn, and they're going to make their determination whether they're going to contact you or not based on what they see on LinkedIn. Another thing to do as a closing note, start to collect testimonials. If you are concerned about starting your business and you don't have any platform on which to start from, start with, again, what you have in your hand. You've heard me say this before. Start with what you already have in your hand. You have a career history from your, let's say, your work history, your corporate jobs that you've had in your past, and you've worked on certain projects, let's say, or different companies. Utilize what you have in your hand and use that as your platform of expertise. Utilize that as your platform of expertise, and you can build from that because those are the things that you know how to do. Those are the successes you've had, and start to collect testimonials from people, whether they are peers on your same level or from superiors, your supervisors or your managers, and get testimonials from them. You can even use, maybe you don't want them to know that you're starting your own business. Look at your past annual reviews. If you've had annual reviews from your work history, take snippets from that as to what managers and supervisors has said about you and utilize that as testimonials. You may or may not want to use their full name. Use the initials. Use the first name and just the last name initial. You don't have to show necessarily the full name, but utilize the content of what they said about you. Let's say you don't have annual reviews. You can still use what you remember people have said about you. You can even utilize what peers have said about you. You can even talk about what family and friends have said that you are great at, that they wouldn't make a move in this particular area without contacting you first. You are the go-to person for whatever is your expertise. Utilize that as to what people have said and use that as testimonials. Put that on your LinkedIn profile, and that will get people interested in what you have to offer, because if someone else likes it, then they might like it as well. So with that, any final closing words, Sanjay?
No, I just would like to repeat that again. Dream big and don't give up. Yeah. So that's my motto. Yeah.
Dream big, don't give up. And with that, we're going to close out this session. We will have our next speaker at the top of the hour. We will be back in just a few minutes. Please make sure to remember, join us for your Build Your Consulting Business Now Summit. Speakers are coming down the pipeline with lots of information to drop for you. Be there to catch it, because you can always use what's in your hands. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next speaker.
Thank you.